and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at a very interesting Pokemon for the Open Great League that I was really wanting to try out here. We're going to take a look today at Cricket Tech Diggersby as a Say-Sop in the current meta. This Pokemon is very interesting, usually you run Mudshot. But what is the advantages of running Cricket Tech? Cricket Tech does more damage than Mudshot in general. It loses a little bit in terms of the energy generation. It does generate energy as fast as Powder Snow, so basically 4 energy per turn, 8 per usage. So this is going to be an interesting move to take a look at, because with this move, you're going to be able to usually, at least against good rank version of Noctowl, you're going to be able to win the 1 and the 2 shield scenario against Noctowl, which is an interesting one, because usually you think Noctowl is a hard answer for this Pokemon, but not for this version at least here. As we're also going to face up against Victory Bell here, which is interesting. We're going to have a lead of the Trevenant. Actually, like if you want to go for the best one in terms of what you can really go for, it most likely would be the Lantern, not the Lantern, the Pelipper. Pelipper, because you have 2 Lantern answers in the back there, and Pelipper would be able to also resist most of the moves that you don't really want to face with the Pokemon in the back there, so like Pelipper might be a little bit better here, but by the way, very good undercharge by me, allowing me to get to another charge move in time where the opponent going to also forfeit here. Next opponent coming in, we're going to see a Tapu Fini lead. Very good for us. Of course, this is very fortunate for us here, as we're going to try to catch the potential Rock Slide on our Diggersby. Didn't work out, but we can go ahead and still hopefully get to the next Earthquake in time before they get to theirs. But yeah, we will see here Earthquake coming through. Do they shield this move up, or do they let this move go through? Are they going to let this move go through, allowing me to also let their move go through, farm them all the way down with a Cricket Tech here, and I should be able to get out of this matchup with 1 Fire Punch stored. Trying to get to another Earthquake here, sadly not possible for me, but I will be able to reach an not an Earthquake, a Fire Punch here, which allows me to at least do a little bit of damage as we face up against a Sableye. Sableye is not what I really want to face here. I was hoping that they shield this move up, because like this move could have been a Shadow Ball, which does tremendous amount of damage against them. But like this, we're going to have our Galar and Stunfisk aligned, but what we can do here is just let the moves go through. We're not going to shield anything here at all. We're just going to try to farm them all the way down here, and if this doesn't work, it's also fine, because we will be able to still go ahead and then go for 1 charge move here. Actually, this is like the power of 1 turn fast moves. If they have like around 1 HP, or like basically around the damage that it would do with 1 fast move, they're going to knock you out before you can go for 1 charge move, which is kind of annoying, because actually it's not how it's supposed to be, but the game is very inconsistent, so yeah. We see a Frosters coming in against us here. This is going to be always a positive matchup for the Galar and Stunfisk. It's not going to be the prettiest matchup here, but because they need 6 turns, or like 6 fast moves for the first 2 moves here, I always will be able to have 1 turn advantage. So if you only swap out basically 2 turns later than the opponent swapped in, you're going to be fine in this matchup, and you're always going to win this one. As my opponent going to see that as well. And I will be able to farm them all the way down here as well, which allows me to get nearly to an Earthquake here already, which is going to be very nice against the incoming Lantern. But they're actually going to swap into a Noctowl, which is a very good play by my opponent. Very nicely caught move there, as we can go still for 1 Rock Slide here, which will do a ton of damage against the opponent, which is going to be nice, and we can go into our Diggersby. Here you see the advantages of having Cricket Tech Diggersby. This Pokemon will like to see the opponent's Noctowls here, as we're going to have neutral damage, stab damage with our Cricket Tech, and our Fire Punches coming out very fast here as well, putting them now into the range as well for 1 more Fire Punch here. As this going to, okay, we're going to see the swap out here into the Lantern. Of course, it's going to be a little bit tricky now, as this Earthquake coming through here. I'm going to shield this move up. Do I shield this move? I'm going to shield this move up, trying to keep the move stored there for later. I'm going to swap out into my Trevenant. I can farm them all the way down, but I think they're already in Seed Bomb range anyway, so it should be fine here. There's nothing that they can really do about this, and it's going to be a good game. Next opponent, let's take a look at this one. Also another legend player here with the legend outfit from the season before here, as we're going to face off against a Medicham in the lead. Very good for us. They're going to go straight for the Ice Punch. I'm going to keep my Trevenant a little bit healthy. They get to the Ice Punch before you get to the Shadow Ball. You can take 1 Ice Punch with your Trevenant, but I don't really want to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and shield up the moves here, because if they stay in like this, they're going to be definitely weak in the back as well against this Pokemon, allowing me to go for 1 Seed Bomb now to knock them out instead of a Shadow Ball. And I will be able to now still keep my Trevenant alive. I can go into my Diggersby and we see the Lantern in the back. As said before, they're going to be weak against me in the back there. With their Lantern, I will be able to go for one Earthquake and do a lot of damage against them, or get the final shield by the opponent. Let's take a look what they want to do. They're going to let this move go through, allowing me to farm them all the way down, I guess. But they might be able to get to 2 serves in time, which might be a little bit trickier now. Let's take a look at this. We're actually going to lose the CMP tie here. This was kind of unfortunate. If we won the CMP tie, we would have been way better off. So, should have thrown the charge move a little bit earlier here. Now I have to go straight into my Galar and Stunfisk, and we have a shield disadvantage, which is in this matchup really bad, because Noctowl actually can win this one now. And yeah, this is not really looking too good. They're gonna go for the Shadow Ball now. I can go ahead and go swap for the Trevenant here, trying to catch a move. Go for the Shadow Ball to try to force a CMP tie. Didn't work out. And now we are screwed. Like, there is nothing we can do about this one now. Because they have now 100 energy for sure. I have my Rock Slide here, but this Rock Slide will not knock them out. And they just need 2 charge moves to knock me out of here. Maybe not a Sky Attack though. I think they need 2 Shadow Balls. Let's see, this does not knock them out, but 2 more fast moves are just barely enough. This was literally dying on the charge move there for the opponent. As we face off against a Dragonair. Dragonair is something that you don't really have an answer for on this team. Like, the Galar and Stunfisk is an answer kinda, but the rest is just not. Like, the Trevenant can take the charge moves, but the fast moves are just too much for this Pokemon. For the Diggersby, you of course have the weakness against also the Aqua Tail. Same as well for the own Galar and Stunfisk there. So that's an awkward one. We see the Registeel coming in against us. We can go for an Earthquake, which is nice. But this is a very tricky matchup here. We will be able to go for one Fire Punch now, just trying to get them low enough that we will be able to knock them out with one charge move later on. But this is an awkward one, as we're going to most likely let this move go through. We're going to be a Focus Blast. We can go into our Trevenant, or we're going to go into our Stunfisk. I guess I was just hoping that our Galar and Stunfisk can clean this game up. That's why I went into my Trevenant now. They're going to go in for the Zap Cannon, going to knock me out, and I overfarm, but still they're going to catch on the Dragonair, which is really good from them. But like, yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. One Rock Slide would have been easily enough. And this is going to lose us the game, because now my opponent going to be able to get to the next charge move here. And this Focus Blast has to be shielded, of course. And we're going to see now we can overfarm to 100 energy. But it will not help if we're already a little bit lower and the opponent has the same Pokemon in the back there. So if they didn't catch the move there, even though our lead was horrible, we would have still been able to most likely win this game there. But the extra energy that they basically got rid of me there allowed them to go for another charge move with their Registeel, which wouldn't have been the case otherwise. And we would have went into the final matchup there with a shield advantage. So very great catch by them. But Dragonair is horrible to face with this team, but we're still going to have a matchup later on against the Dragonair where it went a little bit differently. Here we're going to face off against a Alolan Shadow Ninetales, having access to the move Powder Snow and Weather Ball here, I think, so it's going to be a tough matchup actually for Galar and Stunfisk. If you didn't know, the Ninetales in certain scenarios, depending on your IVs, can flip the matchup against the Galar and Stunfisk in the 2-shield scenario here, especially if they have like one fast move advantage. But my opponent going to not go for that one, I guess. Or is it? I don't know. Like, we're going to be able to go for our own charge move here, and I think it's going to knock them out already. Let's take a look at this one. Rock Slide coming through. They're going to usually outspeed us, but it doesn't really help them if we can take one move, and they can't. As we see the Medicham coming in, the only thing we can throw at them going to be some rocks here. But sadly, we will not be able to do a lot of damage with that. But we put them kind of into range for maybe some Quick Attacks plus Earthquake later on. Let's see what they have in the bag here. They're going to try to catch the move, I thought, but no, they don't. We go straight for the Shadow Ball, knocking them straight out of here, and we will see in the bag the Noctowl. Noctowl, usually a bad matchup. Is it a bad matchup this time around as well? Let's take a look at this. Fire Punch here from our Diggersby, going to do a little bit of damage. We have way more bulk than the opponent here, which is amazing for us, as you can just go ahead and hit them with the Fire Punches, as this is going to do a ton of damage against the opponent. The thing is, I said before, we win the 1 in the 2-shield scenario against Noctowl. We just don't win the 0-shield scenario, because our main damage source is basically our fast move Quick Attack, and we just don't add up enough for that. So here we see that they can go for one Sky Attack, knock us out, and that's going to be a game over, but not for us, but for the opponent, as our Trevenant going to go ahead, go for the Seed Bomb or knocking them straight out of here and winning us the game. Next opponent coming in, we see an Altaria against us. It's going to be an interesting matchup as well as the Shadow Ball is coming through here against this Altaria. Going to hopefully get the the damage on them, but sadly it doesn't, and we can catch the move on our Diggersby, but this is not a good matchup for us either. We can at least go ahead and go for some Quick Attack, and I guess they thought that I would run the move Hyper Beam here, which is also a way that you can play this Pokemon, by the way. Hyper Beam is not a bad idea for this one. But for the general play, I think Earthquake just has too much options there for you to hit other opponents. For example, Galar and Stunfisk really gets hit by that. Or the Lantern, so like for those it's kind of better. Also for Jellicent, which is going to be a tricky one for this team to deal with as well. But the Elite is actually kind of okay with that. Like we'll see here the Trevenant against the Jellicent. I'm going to go for the bait here, which in hindsight I shouldn't have done, of course. Because they're going to let this move go through, allowing me to hopefully farm them all the way down still. Surf coming through, of course. I don't know how much energy they actually have. Can we go for the full farm down? No, we cannot. We try to go for another charge move now afterwards. Let's see what they're going to bring in. They're going to see, the Altaria, of course. So it doesn't really matter that we do that, what we did there, because we can just go ahead, go into our Galarian Stunfisk, and we have a great time here seeing the opponent to press the forfeit button as we see a horrible lead here against a Lickitung and a Medicham in the back. This is not looking too good here. Completely hardwalled so far, and it gets even better here with the opponent having Power Punch. So now they're going to even do more damage against me. They have their Lickitung there, and we can still get to the Earthquake here. That's kind of nice. Earthquake, do we get the shield? Do we get the knockout? We're gonna get the shield, of course, and we're going to have to take some moves here with our Trevenant. Turns out that the Psychic going to do a ton of damage. It's going to be a Power Punch only, which is going to be okay for us. We will have a move stored after this one. We can swap out here, and we're going to face immediately a Surf Edge. So yeah, this was a complete hard wall. There was literally nothing he could have done there. Two fighting types in the back, and a horrible lead there as well for me. Like literally the worst possible team that I could face with this one here. There's nothing I can do. Speaking of Dragonair from before, we see here the other matchup that I meant with the Dragonair. We will be able to reach to another Seed Bomb here, allowing us to get them super low and allowing us as well to swap into our Diggersby. Diggersby will take the Awkward Tail, will take the next one as well. And now we have a scenario where we have a shield advantage, we have switch advantage, but we also have now the Mantine against us where we don't really have anything to hit them. So we're going to try to hit them with some Fire Punches. And I think my opponent here tries to just farm me all the way down. And I am totally okay with that, because where do you want to go with your energy on the Mantine? We still have a Pokemon to clear debuffs later on with a Bubble Beam with our Trevenant here, of course. But this Pokemon here will not do a ton of damage against my Galar and Stunfisk. Like, I don't really care too much about the Bubble Beam. Maybe they should also give Mantine Surf. That would be something that maybe buffs them, or Boom Burst, whatever they want to do, to be fair. It's either Surf or Boom Burst, you know, Niantic. As we see the Registeel coming in, we will be able to just go ahead, clear our debuff into our Trevenant, also forcing him to throw that charge move, and at this point of time, I think they already realized this game going to be over. Good game there. Next opponent, Frostless Lead. This is something that I don't want to see at all. Like, you're gonna go ahead and go for the Seed Bomb. I have to try to win this first matchup here for sure. It's going to be awkward to deal with this Pokemon later on, and luckily they're going to let the move go through, allowing me to farm them all the way down. I don't really have to care what they're going to go for. And this Avalanche is going to get shielded. And we see the Umbreon coming in. This is even worse for me. And we see even a worse matchup coming in here as well with the Swampert. This is most likely going to be a loss. I don't think there is a way for me to win this. There is literally nothing I can do here, really. Can try to bait them, try to get the shield. Getting the shield here is very nice, but like, what am I supposed to do now again? I don't know, really. The Hydro Cannon coming through, I can go for the Seed Bomb here, hopefully knocking them out. Do they shield this? Do they not shield this? I have no idea. They're going to shield this move up here, allowing me to shield as well. And they're most likely going to go into the Umbreon now. And they're going to, of course, swap into that onto my charge move already. I think that was like fake CMP or something, which is really annoying because now my opponent going to have a very, very good matchup here against me. I will be able to go for some Earthquakes here, of course, but like, I have nothing really that I can do against them. I need to really get to a Seed Bomb here, and this will not really happen here. So it's going to be most likely a good game for the final one. We can go for another Earthquake here. Going to get them low. But again, we're going to get also very low here, and we kind of have to get them into a range where I can farm them down with either my Trevenant or with my Stunfisk. Wait, they're gonna why? Why do they go into the Swampert? I don't understand this. Interesting play there by the opponent. They're going to throw the charge move here. Can we actually still win this one? Foul play coming through. We can still get to the rock side. Is this enough to knock out the opponent? Let's see. It is enough and we can still win this game for whatever reason they swapped out of here. Thanks for that, opponent. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you leave a like on the video. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.